Welcome back to Kira's Jamz series, and I am super excited to have y'all here. Okay, we're kicking it off with episode 4, and I'm so excited because this song is actually with my girl, and I love this artist. Okay, so I'm super excited. Thank you for joining back and tuning back in. We're about to have a blast this week, and let me tell you, I'm ready to turn up. So let's get right into it for this week's gospel artist. So this week we're going to be kicking it off with my girl. And when I say she's my girl, she's my girl. She may not know I'm her girl, but she my girl. You feel me? This week we're going to be kicking it off with gospel artist Madison Ryan Ward. And this beautiful artist is one of my absolute favorites because she genuinely has brought R&B to gospel. R&B to worship. And as you know, my series is about us exploring the different variety of music that we have out there that can give us fruitful music, that can give us life as we're listening with our ears. Okay? Now, I don't know about y'all, but I love a vibe. I love a vibe to my music. So when I came across Madison, I was super amazed by just how she came to really bring worshiping God to such a beautiful, intimate space within her music. One thing I can honestly say is that she's really giving R&B a run for its money. Run. Let's be serious. But let's get into it because like I said, we about to listen to some giants. We are going to be kicking it off with my girl Madison, and we're going to be listening to her song, Chosen. Now, one of the main reasons why I even selected this song was because it really moved my heart. If there's one thing I've come to realize about my identity in Christ is that I have been chosen. I have been chosen for great things. And this is one of the main reasons why even when she dropped this new album, because it just came out, when she dropped this album, I was like, this was for me. One thing I truly adore about this song is just the message of the song. How we're constantly being reminded that we are chosen for greatness. Even when the world says we are unworthy, even when the world tells us that we're not chosen, God has preordained us for greatness in our lives. And it's about time we come to believe in it. It's about time we come to experience that greatness because it lies within that relationship that we have with the Father. All right, let's get into it, shall we?
You are chosen for beautiful things, even broken. I hear the stars singing your praise, calling you out, saying your name. No, it's no doubt, God made no mistake. You are chosen for beautiful things.
Let's just get into it. One thing she says is, you are chosen for beautiful things, even broken. Now, let's stop it right there. Stop it. Because let me tell you something. Just from these words alone, I've received so much. Why? Because of the message. One thing that I have come to really understand in Christ is that I have been chosen for greatness despite of my mistakes, despite of my weaknesses. And honestly, again, the world tries to define us by our mistakes, by our weaknesses, by our pain, by our brokenness. But the Lord, when he calls us into relationship with him, he no longer identifies us to those things. He sees us as his child. He sees us as his chosen one. And this is why I love this song, because this song really resonates with me. Because I always used to identify myself to my unworthiness. I always used to identify myself to the things that I couldn't do. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. All these things, right? And I used to consider myself so weak. But it was even in those weak times that God still said, hey, Kira, you're chosen. I've chosen you to be with me, to glorify my name. I've chosen a purpose, a great purpose for you. And that's one thing that was so hard for me to accept. Because I'm like, man, I'm so broken. I'm so hurt. I'm so lost. Half the time, I don't even believe in you, God. Half the time, I don't even have trust. But yet again, you still are saying that I am chosen. And if that's one thing that this world does not give to you, listen, this world will keep you bound to every little mistake you've done. This world will try to label you to every mistake that you've made. We see it. Social media, yada, yada, yada. We see it. And it's just so amazing to finally just come into a place where I am accepted, even in my weaknesses, so I can be made strong in the Lord. And that's why I say the love that God has for us is just truly out of this world. Because why does God choose me even when I'm weak? Why does God choose you even when you're in your weaknesses, when you're struggling, when you're struggling mental battles and all these things? God still says, I choose you. And if that isn't love, I don't know what to tell you. Because this world is not going to accept you. It never will. We constantly have to change ourselves just to be accepted. And the moment we step into our authenticity, that's when we're denied. Interesting, right? Let's get into it.
Don't get caught up in comparison. Keep it original like you've been. This is the time to be all you can. Give yourself another hand.
Cut it. Let's dissect these lyrics, okay? I love that she says, don't get caught up in comparison. Because I think that is one thing that I have struggled with for so many years, is comparing my life to others. Comparing what God is doing in someone else's life and what God is doing in my life. And you want to know, I've came to receive so much peace in knowing that my relationship with God is unique just as the other person's relationship with God. And my relationship is so unique and so beautifully created for just me and God. And I've came to an acceptance of that, because that's one thing that I came to realize, is that I don't want my relationship with God to be like anybody else's. I don't. I want my relationship to be intimate and personal and unique. And I want God to, speak to me in ways that, hey, he doesn't speak to the next person, which is okay. Our relationship with God is to be unique. Our relationship with God is to be designed for us. And it's a beautiful thing once you really come to the positioning and realizing that you don't have to compare yourself to anyone in this world. There's no reason to, because at the end of the day, we are all flawed beings. Even when we try to compare ourselves, we're not even really comparing ourselves to the full, authentic versions of who we are. We're comparing ourselves to things that we see, things that we think, things that we feel. We're comparing ourselves to realities that aren't even there. And this is why I even love the movement where we started to see even women, men coming together to really just embrace our uniqueness, really coming to stop tearing down another through competition. And this is what we've got in here in the world, okay? It's competition, okay? Everything we do is a competition. It's like, stop. I just want to be me. I want to be wonderfully me, okay? Fearfully me, without comparison. Because one thing I've come to realize is that comparison kills. Comparison kills. And when we allow comparisons to be the running force, the forefront of our lives, this is when we start to find ourselves moving in mindsets and toxic ways and trying to do this because you want to be accepted here and all these things. I'm grateful that God has made us all beautiful, fearfully, wonderfully made, unique human beings. And once we start to really embrace the beauty about who we are as an individual, this is when we can truly start to see some change in the world. Because right now, the world wants us to be like the next person and the next person and the next person, when those people aren't who we are as an individual. And that is okay. Acceptance is such a beautiful thing once we fully embrace it. Okay?
Beautiful.
this week's episode on Kira's Jamz series. I am super excited for next week's episode. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to your girl because I have some more yummy coming, okay? I want to make sure that we're staying connected. We are family. We are family. Cha, 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 cha. I got all my sisters and my brothers. Listen, we are a family. We got to stay connected. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you for next week on Kira's Jamz series. I just want to remind you that you are chosen for beautiful things, even when the world tells you you aren't. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.